What if the answer to your hormone problems isn't sitting in a pharmacy, but in something that's been on kitchen shelves for 5,000 years? I'm not just exaggerating to get your attention. A well-known Ayurvedic practitioner recently said something on a podcast that genuinely stopped me cold. She called this single ancient ingredient, and I quote, HRT without taking HRT. Basically, hormone replacement therapy without the side effects and liver stress from synthetic hormones. And here's the part nobody saw coming. When researchers put it under a microscope, the lab data started agreeing with her. We're talking estrogen support in women, testosterone support in men, and cortisol drops you can measure in either. So stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it is, how it actually works inside your body, and the 2 simple ways to use it that turn a basic kitchen staple into one of the most powerful longevity tools you'll wish you knew about sooner. I'm talking about sesame, not the toasted smoky oil you use for stir-fry, but the seed itself and the unrefined, cold-pressed, organic version of its oil that you usually ignore on supermarket shelves. In India's classical system of natural medicine, the sesame seed has been revered as both food and medicine for as long as the methodology has existed, and its oil is considered the king of oils. The name of this system is Ayurveda, which is a Sanskrit word that directly translates to the science of life, and it's a complete framework for keeping the body in balance through food, herbs, oils, and daily rhythm. Before we get to the actual studies and their genuinely surprising results, there's a concept you need to understand first that explains why so many people feel like they're aging in double time after 40. And once you see this, you can't unsee it. Here's the analogy. We start life like grapes, plump, full of fluid, hormonally lubricated, and built for life. As we age, we slowly turn into raisins. That's not poetry, it's biology. However you put it, your body is drying out from the inside. Your reproductive fluids, your joint fluid, the moisture in your skin, and your gut lining, all of it depends on your hormones working properly. Estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone don't just make babies. They keep tissue alive. When those hormones drop, you don't just lose your libido or your period. You lose the lubrication that your body needs to thrive. Without it, your skin gets dry, your hair thins, your eyes feel gritty, your joints ache, and your brain gets foggy. It's like a constant low-grade sense that your body is running on fumes. In men specifically, testosterone declines about 1 to 2% every year after 30. And the same drying out shows up as low energy, brain fog, soft muscle, and morning erections that have apparently taken early retirement. The Ayurvedic terminology for this is depletion of Ojas. Ojas is the body's deepest reserve. It's the fluid that essentially makes you resilient. It often gets correlated to the immune system, but it's much more than that. The thing is, our modern lifestyle and everything that goes with it is almost perfectly engineered to drain it. Too much caffeine, chronic overworking, pounding workouts with no recovery, late nights, constant screen time, and restrictive diets all pull moisture out of you over time. So the real question becomes this: what are you doing to replenish? If hormones decline because the body is drying out, can you actually slow the drying? The studies say yes, and one of the most surprising tools is getting overlooked at the store every single day. Quick pause for a moment. Have you noticed your skin, hair, or sleep changing in ways you felt were problematic, but your doctor brushed it off as just normal aging? Let's talk about it in the comments because what I'm about to share might explain a lot of it. You see, sesame seeds are loaded with compounds called lignans, the most studied of which is sesamin. Modern science is finally starting to recognize what Ayurveda has been saying all along, And the lignans in sesame are where that recognition begins. Lignans are phytoestrogens, which are plant molecules with a shape so similar to estrogen that your body can use them as gentle stand-ins. No synthetics, no chemicals, just plants doing what Mother Nature designed them to do. Here's where it gets interesting. When sesamin reaches your gut, the microbes living there convert it into a compound called enterolactone, which just happens to be the same active phytoestrogen your body produces from flaxseed, for which there's a mountain of research for hormone support. One study followed 24 postmenopausal women over a period of 5 weeks who were eating 50 grams of sesame seed powder per day, and the results were striking. The women showed improved sex hormone status, better blood lipid profiles, and stronger antioxidant capacity, all from one simple food in just over a month. Now, 50 grams of powder a day isn't exactly delicious, but here's the good news. Tahini, which is sesame seed paste made from ground sesame seeds and water, gives you the same compounds in a more palatable form. About 3 tablespoons a day gets you in the ballpark of the dose from the study. And because the seeds are ground, your body actually absorbs the lignans instead of letting them pass through whole. There's even a traditional Ayurvedic treat made of tahini drizzled over pitted dates that's been used for centuries to nourish hormones and replenish ojas. It's sweet, satisfying, hormone-supporting, and grandmother-approved. I'll leave links to my favorite tahini and dates in the description below. In another study, researchers gave sesame oil to ovarectomized rats, which is the standard scientific model for human menopause. The sesame oil group maintained their estradiol levels, which is the most potent form of estrogen in the body and the one that drops most dramatically in menopause. They also maintained their aromatase activity. Aromatase is the enzyme that converts other hormones into estrogen, and it's the exact pathway that collapses in menopause. What this means is, sesame oil doesn't just mimic estrogen, it supports the body's ability to make its own. You see, the seed and the oil work through the same compounds, just at different concentrations. Which brings us to a second pathway that almost nobody talks about, and it has nothing to do with what you eat. That second pathway is your skin, which is the largest digestive organ we have. You see, digestion isn't just what happens in your stomach. It's how your body processes anything you take in. And since your skin is absorptive, whatever goes on you goes in you. The Ayurvedic practice of Abhyanga is a simple self-massage using warm oil over your entire body before your shower. 5 minutes, sesame oil, done. Now, before you roll your eyes, there's hard data behind this. Multiple studies have shown that daily Abhyanga for just 1 to 2 weeks significantly reduces cortisol and stress levels, with one study reporting a 16% reduction while also improving sleep quality. And the best thing about this protocol? No supplements, no prescriptions, just oil meeting skin. Just to remind you, cortisol is the master stress hormone, and chronically elevated cortisol is what's wrecking your other hormones in the first place. It blunts progesterone, suppresses testosterone, and accelerates the entire drying out process we talked about earlier. In other words, the grape becomes a raisin faster. So why does this actually work? It's all rooted in how skin behaves. You see, it's a permeable, intelligent organ rather than a wall. That means that fat-soluble compounds penetrate the upper layers and influence the tissue underneath without needing to flood the bloodstream. On top of that, slow, rhythmic touch activates the vagus nerve, which flips the body out of fight-or-flight mode and into rest and digest, which lowers cortisol within minutes. And the warmth combined with the pressure stimulates lymphatic flow, which is exactly what your liver needs to clear excess hormones and metabolic waste. That liver connection is really the whole game because your liver is the filter that breaks down used estrogen and clears it from the body. When the liver is overloaded by things like ultra-processed food, caffeine, alcohol, or poor sleep, estrogen recycles back into your bloodstream instead of leaving cleanly. And this is also why food-based phytoestrogens like the ones in sesame are gentler than oral synthetic hormones. When you take synthetic hormones in pill form, your liver has to process them as concentrated drug doses on every single pass through your body, which just adds to the very burden that causes hormonal symptoms in the first place. The lignans in sesame come packaged with food, so your body handles them the same way it handles every other nutrient, which means no extra strain on the filter. When the liver gets overloaded, that's when women get the symptoms commonly described as hormonal, including breast tenderness, mood swings, weight that refuses to budge, and hair changes that seem to come out of nowhere. For men, it shows up as low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, stubborn belly fat, and muscle loss that no amount of gym time seems to fix. Chronic cortisol makes it worse for all parties because cortisol and testosterone compete for the same raw materials in the body. When cortisol wins, testosterone loses, which is exactly why Abhyanga matters as much for men as it does for women. Also, Sesamin specifically has been shown to modulate androgen receptor signaling, which means it appears to interact with the same DHT pathway that drives male hair loss and prostate issues. The full mechanism isn't mapped out yet, but the direction of the research is genuinely striking. If you want more videos about ancient practices grounded in modern science, hit like and subscribe. It lets YouTube know this content is valuable and genuinely helps us keep making more videos like this one. Okay, here's the actual protocol. Start by buying organic, cold-pressed, raw, unrefined sesame oil. And again, I'll leave a link in the description. Pour 2 to 4 tablespoons into a small glass bottle or bowl and warm it by placing the container in hot water for about a minute. The oil should feel warm against the skin and never hot. Apply it to dry skin before you shower, starting with your feet and moving upwards towards your heart. Use long strokes on the limbs and gentle circular strokes on the joints. Spend a little extra time on the soles of your feet because that's one of the densest collections of nerve endings in your body. Just be extra careful not to slip when you get in the shower. On hair washing day, massage it into your scalp, face, and ears as well. Let the oil absorb for 5 to 20 minutes, then shower with warm water. You shouldn't need soap to scrub it off because most of it will have already sunk in by then. For best results, do this 3 to 4 times a week. Women in clinical settings have reported better sleep first, then calmer skin, and then steadier moods, with the hormonal effects building over months rather than days. This is a longevity practice, not a quick fix. One important caveat is that sesame oil is considered warming in Ayurveda. So if you run hot, get inflamed easily, or have very oily skin, alternate with coconut oil, especially during the warmer months. And if you're on hormone-sensitive medication or being treated for a hormone-driven condition, talk to your doctor first, because while phytoestrogens are mild, they're still real and worth respecting. Here's what I want you to take away from all this. The reason it works is not magic, and it's not marketing. It's that your body was built to be lubricated, calm, and rhythmic, and modern life made it dry, anxious, and chaotic. Sesame happens to be one of the cleanest, oldest tools for reversing all three at once. It's food for your skin, a phytoestrogen source for your gut, and a cortisol reset for your nervous system. And honestly, it costs less than a single bottle of chemical-laden moisturizer. This is what Ayurveda has been saying forever. The body wants to heal. You just have to stop draining it and start feeding it. So now you've got 2 ways in, tahini and dates, and sesame oil massage before your shower. Let me know in the comments which one you're gonna try first. If you found this useful, share it with someone who's getting nowhere with conventional treatments. And if you're ready to dive even deeper into how to work with your body instead of against it, check out this video right here. Remember, longevity isn't luck, it's a lifestyle. Until next time.